Don't you all think that we want to look younger always, but scared of surgeries? Don't you think that without surgeries one can look young?
Definitely, Shweta. Not only you. Today the trend is all of us want to look young. You want to have our face especially looking very pleasant, presentable. But as you said, more than 90% of my patients are extremely scared of surgery.
So how do you define a person who's cosmetically good looking?
I don't think there's anything called perfect, right? But with multiple studies, people have analyzed what do people find attractive, like in men, in a female. What features is most attractive or presentable to majority of the society. So that is what we call aesthetically good looking person.
So doctor, what should one know about Botox before they get it done?
Most of my clients, I don't even call them patients, they get really confused between Botox and filler. They feel it's one and the same. Ki doctor okay, do Botox and fillers. So they don't know what I'm using for what purpose.
So, but what are the side effects, doctor, that a patient should know before
Fillers, right?
fillers? Yeah.
Now, side effect, I would say, depend on what kind of filler you're using where and from whom you're getting injected.
That is very important.
Yeah. So that is, I feel, more than product definitely is important, but it is more important who's doing it. But when done wrong, like it can be very threatening complication. You see, like fillers have certain danger zones in our face.
Okay.
When we are not careful, the person who's doing it doesn't know what they're doing, then sometimes even blindness can occur.
Because of fillers?
Yes. Most of the people don't even know this.
Yeah. We have received a great response on our podcast, Nothing But Truth. Thank you so much for that. I'm here again with Dr. Pinky Devi. I have been to discuss a lot more topics, which is very interesting. So today I am going to discuss something that we all are looking forward to. Don't you all think that we want to look younger always, but scared of surgeries? So let's discuss about anti-aging treatments, doctor.
Yes.
But personally, me, I'm very scared of surgeries. But don't you think that without surgeries one can look young?
Definitely, Shweta. Not only you. Today the trend is all of us want to look young. You want to have our face especially looking very pleasant, presentable. But as you said, more than 90% of my patients are extremely scared of surgery. Right? They say, doctor, no, anything but surgery. Right? So there are certain things we can definitely do without surgery. So I would like to, these would be mainly like some injectables we have, right? Some pills, laser treatment, and some of the advanced technology. So when I say injectables, it's mainly the Botox, botulinum toxin. You must have heard and experienced it. Then we have something called fillers, hyaluronic acid. Then certain chemical peels, some CO2 laser, skin resurfacing laser we call it. Then we have the micro needling and PRP treatment, RFA, radio frequency we can do it. And also something which is something new is HIFU, high intensity focus ultrasound. Then further, one more little more, I would say minimally invasive would be something called threadless. So these all put together and definitely some creams and skincare routines. So all this can really give good results non-surgically up to a particular age, right? So non-surgical are the best when we do it for a particular age. After a particular age, like 65, 70, when we are really sad, the aging changes has really become drastic, surgery would be the only option.
Okay, so that means till we can
Yes.
keep it up, we can
Yeah,
get
we
this
can.
done. So it's actually a boon for us that all this exists. So I think we all have to definitely make use of it if you're scared of surgeries. Doctor, what do you think is a cosmetically good looking person? So how do you define a person who's cosmetically good looking?
So again, Shweta, this I have repeatedly said, I don't think there's anything called perfect, right? But with multiple studies, people have analyzed what do people find attractive, like in men, in a female. What features is most attractive or presentable to majority of the society. So that is what we call aesthetically good looking person. So typically there are certain proportions first. So the structure is the first important point. Like, what is the shape of your face? Now, when I say the face, is it a round face or a rectangle face, or the different
Face
shapes of
shapes.
face, heart shape face.
Right.
Now, once you say the shape, then what are the proportion of your face? Right? It's like we typically like to divide face into thirds, like the upper one third, middle one third, and lower one third, right? So these have to be in harmony. So each third is actually equal in size, right? But you must have seen somebody has a small chin. So this part may look very small and retruded. So then it doesn't look very pleasant in the photos to them. Or sometimes the middle part, the nose may be extremely big, or it may be small. For some people, the forehead. So these, when are in proper proportion, so they become little more aesthetically better looking. Okay. Now, but everybody doesn't have by birth. So this, through certain treatments, we try to alter, right? Suppose the chin is small, we try to give a bigger chin. By fillers. Fillers, or a chin implant, or a fat grafting. Okay. Similarly, if the cheeks is not good, if it is flat, or if it is sad, as we age, typically everybody would want an inverted triangle, right? Yes. I don't know if you have heard it. Woman would like a high cheek. High cheek and a narrower cheek. Yes. Yeah, got it. So that again we can do with certain treatments if one doesn't have it. Then the upper forehead can be countered. The sides of the forehead can be countered. But these are only if it is, I feel, to be done only when it is a significantly different. But if 90%, 95% you have a good looking features, better not to go for too much of alteration. That's what my opinion is. Right, right. But still people, want to look 100% yes, perfect. So, yes. But actually these treatment actually very, it is definitely very useful, especially depending on your profession, I guess. If you're a person who's all the time in front of camera, if your profession is itself in camera, right, definitely these things matter. Right, right. So, doctor, out of the patients who come to you, what do men opt for? Non-surgically, what do men and women? So, what is the most common thing for both? Right. And tell me which is very common in men and women. So true, Shweta, we have been discussing over the last few podcasts only about women. Right. Yeah. But definitely the trend in men has drastically changed. Men also looking for a lot of cosmetic work. So the commonest I would say in men would be botulinum toxin, Botox, because typically they have a very strong wrinkles on their forehead. So they would like to get rid of those wrinkles. Then chemical peels, CO2 laser. Fillers is much lesser in men. They don't want a high cheek. Right. So we try to use fillers in men, but in a way that only we are trying to take care of the sagging of it. Then we are doing fat grafting for filler men. Then something like beard and mustache. Some men don't have a thick beard. Certain areas are very sparse. So in them we can do something called a beard hair transplant. We do mustache hair transplant to give a particular thickness to the men. So these then thread lifts, double chin treatment. So these are certain common treatments which we are doing in men. And lip reduction. For men? In men, yes. A lot of boys, men have very big lips, especially the lower lip, right? It is abnormally big. So they are going for something surgical, it is though, for lip reduction. But same thing when we see in the women. Women are more getting fillers done. They want a nice high cheek. They're going for lip fillers. They want a nice plumper lips. They are going more for Botox is more common in women because they want an eyebrow lift, which I can do with Botox. Okay. Then PRP microneedling, thread lifts, HIFU. More or less, I would say the treatment modality, both in men and women, are same, but the way we do it, the aim, the goal in a man is a different, in a woman is different. Because the gender wise the faces are different. Right. But modality I would say is all more or less the same. Right. So doctor, don't you think these standards, beauty standards, these trends that are going on, do you think this has this has gotten this importance and this fame because of social media influences? 100%. Because we have now more and more option to be in front of the camera. Earlier, in front of camera would have been only for people who are into movies or a TV serial. But that is no more, right? You can be a star on a social media. So more and more we are looking at our face all the time. We are looking under a light. So we would want to look presentable. Second reason I feel it's become more common because of the knowledge. Like even now we are recording a podcast discussing
And
this
people
topic.
are not shaming away by telling anyone that they got a Botox
Correct.
done or they got a fillers
Correct.
done. Now they are there are videos. Come with me to get a Botox done. Come with me to get my lips fillers done. So it's become very common.
They take a pride also now.
Right.
You know, it is something like I could afford it. Right. So
Afforded, and also no one is shying away.
Correct.
I have money. I paid. I get it done. Right. It's not a
Right.
crime.
Right.
Yeah. So, doctor, what should one know about Botox before they get it done?
Sure, Shweta. So this is a very common confusion. People don't know what, they've heard Botox. So most of my clients, I don't even call them patient, they get really confused between Botox and filler. They feel it's one and the same. You know, okay, do Botox and fillers. So they don't know what I'm using for what purpose. So Botox is nothing but botulinum toxin. So it is a toxin, it's a neurotoxin. Right. So basically it will act on the end receptors on the nerve system and block it temporarily. So when I say temporarily, one has to understand it is not a permanent, right? The drug can act only for 3.5 months. So any result due to Botox is at max 4 to 6 months. So this one point has to be strongly understood by the patient. They should not keep, because it becomes heavy on the pocket if you want to maintain. So I have patient thinking that, okay, once I get Botox, it's done. So it is a repetitive treatment. Now, this botulinum toxin we are using to paralyze certain muscles because we don't want wrinkles, right? So, what happens when a certain muscle is acting? Like, for example, forehead lines. So, we have a muscle called frontalis, right? When that is acting, we get the horizontal wrinkles, right? So, to get rid of these wrinkles, I am paralyzing this muscle. And again, it is temporary. Similarly, I have a muscle called procerus and the corrugator. You must have heard something called level line or the frown lines.
Frown lines.
Yeah? Especially you have seen some men have strong two vertical lines, right? Yeah. So we call it as 11 line, right? So these muscles we can temporarily block with Botox. Then we have something called crow's feet. Crow's feet, right? Where we smile. Right. Some people get that. Then we have something called mentalis. Sometimes the muscle is so bulky and there's a lot of dimpling of that muscle. So that also we can take care with Botox. Then I have, suppose somebody has a very heavy masseter muscle. So you must have seen some girls, they have a nice cheek, but this is also square. Some celebrity, I feel that especially like Kareena Kapoor, right? You see, she has nice cheek, but you see, she's very wide. You can see, sharp mandible. So that can be taken care with Botox because we can soften the masseter muscle. Then the necklines, neck bands, platysmal bands, what we call. As we age, you can see the bands coming up, horizontal wrinkles. That I can take care with Botox. With Botox, excess sweating, underarm sweating, palm sweating. So all these are extremely common uses where I can use Botox. So Botox is only for taking care of the wrinkles and some sweating and other things. So it is basically paralyzing. As I said, it works only for 3 to 4 months. It is an OPD procedure, right? It's not like takes too much of time. It takes 5 to 10 minutes depending on the area we are treating. The results start to appear only after 2 days. So it's not like you get Botox today, right, and immediately you will see it. The results peak 7 to 14 days. Okay. They last to 3.5 to 4 months. That is about Botox is. So it is a very simple procedure used for these purposes.
Okay. Because some people always look tired. They always have this dark circles. They're very tired. So, do you think these fillers and Botox will be a help to them?
Correct. So what happens when we say somebody is looking tired? We are basically trying that few things on the face we analyze. One main area would be the eyes. Eyes being the center, this is the soul of your face, right? So eyes look sometimes tired due to multiple reasons. Like it could be some people always have dark under eye. There's some pigmentation. Some people have hollowing.
Right.
Though they have a good face and everything, the under eye starts looking hollow. So these kind of thing makes them look very tired.
Tired.
So these two things, like dark circles and hollowing, to some extent we can take care with fillers. When there is something less here, what do? I put a little volume. Those are called fillers. Botox has no role. Botox is for wrinkles only.
Okay.
So this area when there is hollowing, I will do fillers. Now they look tired also because when the face sags, right? Youthful face they lose. What they had something here has already dropped down, right? And something called downturned mouth, they look all that and sad or frowning, right? So that is because we have lost the volume there. So there I can lift by putting some fillers. I can lift the angle of the mouth by putting some filler. So these areas filler is good.
Okay. But there's always been a taboo, no, about fillers.
Yes.
So don't you think the taboo is not there anymore, and people have to start accepting that fillers are very normal and it's a cosmetic procedure one can get to make themselves more confident? Don't you think?
Definitely, what is happening is why people, though, opting more and more for fillers, but at the same time, if you see, fillers are coming into disfavor also now because we overly done fillers. When you see certain celebrities, they were looking actually much better, and after fillers,
They look
you think, oh my god, why it was done. So I feel fillers can give you beautiful results when done under control. Don't overdo it. Don't try to be somebody else. We want a refresher, a little more better looking person of that person, right? We don't want X becoming Y. So if we can do that, fillers is good, but over fillers is never good.
Okay. So, but what are the side effects, doctor, that a patient should know before
Fillers. Right?
fillers? Yeah.
So now, before that, if I can introduce filler, because I don't know how many people know what fillers are. Fillers are basically hyaluronic acid, right? Now, depending on this viscosity, they say, how soft, how hard, it's called a G prime factor. So if it is very soft, we use for under eye. We use hard or a firmer filler. We call it a more robust filler for lifting things, right? So these are different kind of fillers. Now, side effect, I would say, depend on what kind of filler we are using where and from whom you're getting injected.
That is very important.
Yeah. So that is, I feel, more than product definitely is important, but it is more important who is doing it.
Right.
If a trained person who knows in and out, who's been experienced, can give you results without any complication. But some of the problems with fillers, if not done properly, can be either overfilling. It looks unnatural, unnatural areas. I have seen some of my patients who have high cheek here. Cheek is not supposed to be here, right? You're supposed to have it here.
Right.
Now we have this laugh lines, right? We have nasolabial folds. Lot of people fill those, trying to get rid of it, but it looks very unnatural. So unnatural results is one of the complication of filler. Overly done lips, lot of people we are seeing it looks really bad. Other than that, some bruising, sudden pain, but when done wrong, like it can be very threatening complication. We say, like fillers have certain danger zones in our face.
Okay.
When we are not careful, the person who's doing doesn't know what they're doing, it can go for artery occlusion. That means the blood supply of an area can be occluded, right? That means some area of the skin can become necrotic. We may lose that part.
Oh my God.
Then sometimes even blindness can occur.
Because of fillers?
Yes. Most of the people don't even know this.
Yeah.
So if you are injecting by mistake into a vessel, blood vessel, so this area, the filler can go into the retinal artery and cause blindness.
Okay.
So fillers, and I always say, please get it done with experienced person. Don't look at the cost. You may save 4,000, 5,000 rupees. But if you develop a complication, you will spend lakhs. So it is foolish to see fillers with price. Go with an experienced person. Buttocks is what happens with buttocks. If you have a complication, it is one to reverse it. I mean, it is short last.
Short lasting. So I think
3.5 months, yeah, you're done.
Right.
But fillers is not like that.
When people end up with such disasters, do you think it's because of the product or the esthetician?
Mainly, it's the person who's performed,
Hmm.
right? And product also. But most, if you're going to a good trained doctor, qualified, like if you come to me, suppose, I'll be using only recommended products. I'm not using anything, which is available just I don't want to name the products. But if you're using a standard product will not cause a complication, right? But who injects will matter.
Right. So, doctor, let's discuss about HIFU.
Right, Shweta. HIFU is a newer treatment. So it's called high intensity focus ultrasound. So what happens, again, when we are saying anti-aging, we are looking at getting rid of the sagging in the skin. Skin is sagging. That is the main concern for most of the people.
Right.
So we want skin tightening. So skin tightening with HIFU, we are using ultrasound energy. Basically to heat up the tissue.
Okay.
Right. We are purposely damaging certain part. Yes.
Really?
To a depth and level which we want.
Okay.
Right. So we are going to say 3 to 5 depth. We have something called a smash layer in the face. It's a superficial musculoepidermolytic layer that is responsible for the sagging. So we are putting heat energy around 65 to 75 degrees for a particular pulse, for particular duration, a particular depth. All three matters.
Okay. And particular area also.
Yes.
So for the face it will be a different.
Yes. To the
frequency.
body it will be different. Even in face, under eye will be different. Your cheek will be different. What area will depend. So this will basically give the heat energy and collagen is strengthened. Right? And that will cause a lifting effect. So typically 1 to 2 sessions in a year.
In a year?
Yes.
That's
So
it.
yes, a good result. Yes.
Okay.
But again, Shweta, who is doing is very important. Because I have seen people with HIFU coming to me with complication
Okay.
and done wrongly, at a wrong depth, with the wrong heat energy. People have lost even some amount of fat. You're not going for fat atrophy,
Right.
right? Because you're going for sagging, you want to lift. So they have lost little shape. The fat has lysed.
So is it reversible? Can you do something?
Difficult. Then again, you have to do fat grafting, fillers and all that. So, but it's a very good method, non-surgical, quick, takes 15 to 20 minutes in the clinic setup.
And lasts for how long does
Up to a year, we say.
Okay. So is it very expensive?
Yes, because not very expensive, I would say. If you're going with a good place, they'll have the genuine machine. Now, again, it depends. This is machine based, right? This is not like there's any product. You're not injecting anything. So the doctor needs to buy a machine. Once a machine, a technology comes in the market, there's a lot of duplication of it, right? So typically, this machine, HIFU, may cost 25 to 30 lakhs. Say.
That machine.
Yeah. So obviously, the doctor will have to charge.
Right. Right.
And the pins, what we're using, the transducer, even that has disposable. So that also will cost per patient. So there is a cost involved. But the moment you're getting very cheap done, that means they're using a duplicate machine.
There is a duplicate machine.
Their machine only, even for 2 lakhs. Right? So can you understand? It's 30 lakh a machine, how somebody is recreating 2 lakh.
Right.
There'll be
But
lots
the patients wouldn't know if it's
wouldn't
a 30
know,
lakh or a 2 lakh.
it looks
machine.
HIFU for him. Yeah. So those kind of things we have to be careful. So obviously there's a cost involved. But comparatively, you're not doing repeatedly.
And not surgical.
Non-surgical.
Easy results.
Yes.
Fast results. Even cool sculpting is having this very great buzz. So what is cool?
Cool sculpting is basically for sculpting what they're saying for the fat. Okay. So some areas of your body, like you have some amount of double chin, some fat in your arms, some fat in abdomen, that it can freeze. The fat is basically it is using cold, freezing the fat and killing the fat cells. Okay. And the fat cell will get absorbed in our body. It is for slimming, basically. If I tell in simple words, it is for slimming effect.
Okay.
It will not have lift.
No lift. Only killing the fat cells.
Fat cells. So now this will be good if it is for small fats. But in Indian cinema, what is happening is a really hefty person going for cool sculpting. People are promoting.
No use.
It's useless. So it is basically, I would say, somebody who has a really slim body already. But some focus of fat is not good. Cool sculpt is super.
Okay.
But not for somebody for a generalized fat.
Again, this is non-surgical.
It's non-surgical. It's just a machine. It's a transducer which is placed on that particular part, and the machine is ordered for a few minutes.
And
depending on
the
that.
fat gets frozen.
Yes, yes.
So how long does it take for the fat to dissolve?
It will take 8 to 10 weeks.
8 to 10 weeks.
The fat start because when we are overly cooling any area or overly heated, it kills the cells, right?
So are there any side effects, doctor?
For cool still, side effect would be done in wrong candidates. You know, lot of fat. We're trying to do it. So some area we lose fat, some will look,
It
become
look very
asymmetric.
uneven.
Uneven.
Okay.
That's the only complication. Others nothing.
Okay. Again, what about the cost?
Because again, the cool sculpting original machine is very expensive. So cost will be involved. Again, you have duplicate of it. Right. So machine-based treatment are like that.
Okay.
The original machines are expensive, so the doctor will charge you more. But at the same time, the duplicates are cheaper, so the charges will be less. So it depends with whom you're getting it done.
Okay. Well, doctor, even the IV therapies, the IV,
Right.
that's also getting a lot of, I mean, it's trending. Anyway, you see, they are sitting with the IV with a glass of juice or
Wine.
something. Yeah, I didn't want to tell them. They sit with the IV, a book, and a.
Yeah.
So the
It sounds so cool, right?
Yeah. So how common is it, and is it safe? What is the buzz about IV drop, IV drips?
Shweta, this IV drips, a lot of my patient only came and told me, "Okay, doctor, we had gone to a salon. My hairstylist said, ma'am, I'll give you a glow. Let us put some antioxidant." I was shocked.
Doctor, there's not only antioxidant. There is a mix of A, B, C vitamins. There's only glutathione. There's the bridal glow,
Hangover
tonic,
drip.
hangover drip. There's so many, like the variety of juices that you find in the juice shop. There are so many IV drips. You choose according to your.
Now, Shweta, imagine IV drip means intravenous. You're putting something into your veins, right? So doesn't the one who does it, right? Second, place. So IV cannula cannot be inserted properly by anybody and everybody.
Right.
Right? So you need a OT staff, a nursing staff. OT means I mean nursing staff who's already trained, or a doctor. Right? So in this parlors or bars, it's some common person shooting, and suppose it's not gone in the vein, it goes out. The fluid will extravasate, causing skin necrosis, killing of your skin, causing infection. There are a lot of videos, reports you might have seen. Overall infection, the person developed entire body systemic infection called blood infection, tuberculosis infection, mycobacterial infection. So you're putting yourself in danger to all that. That is a technical issue, sir. How it is and where it is. Secondly, there's no study saying so many antioxidant, what is the quantity needed for a person. There's no study.
It depends on everyone, right? Like
Correct.
I might be lacking some
Correct.
whatever.
So you're not being tested.
But still, I've been given that.
everything. Na? On what basis am I giving you something? If I'm giving you IV drip, have I tested all your minerals? Whether you're deficient in magnesium, aluminum,
So it's
zinc,
become an overdose, no doctor?
yes, toxicity. Right? To begin with, you don't need something. Right? And then it's a huge trend. Not only parlors, lot of doctors, lot of clinics are promoting it like anything. Because cost rate is a very simple thing. But payment you can get is better.
Correct.
Totally against IV.
And many people are doing it before their weddings. Bridal glow. How do you think that that antioxidants will give immediate glow, doctor? But it's a process, right? Like glow from within.
Right. So Shweta, tell me why you need IV help? Why can't you do it naturally?
Because it's much
Easier
and sounds very
cool,
trendy.
trendy. Yeah.
And people say promise that it gives results. But do you think it really gives results?
No.
Glutathione?
Because unless you're healthy from in, you'll not get that natural result.
And it will not long last.
Exactly.
So, doctor, and also I've heard that glutathione is help I mean, it helps to reduce your skin color.
Exactly. Skin whitening. That is most important thing going on in the market is glutathione for skin whitening.
So does it really whiten the skin?
How can it? It can reduce maybe a pinch, but can you take for lifelong glutathione?
So if you straw, your melanin starts
Obviously.
growing.
Because how is the
producing.
pigment? As you correctly said, melanin, right? We have different skin types. Indians come in four types, you see. So they're on the brownish side. So whole body you have particular melanin.
Right.
So that will keep reducing. So for the temporary glutathione is affecting that. But
So that will just stop the production.
Yes. It's just for the time you're doing the treatment. But what happens after that?
Again,
And how long will you take? Again, what glutathione is advisable? All this is a big query.
Doctor, we spoke about IV glutathione drips. There are even pills.
Correct.
So
correct.
people take it like chocolates, every day. Yeah. So what do you have to tell about that?
See, Shweta, one thing is for sure, no tablets. Not only glutathione, we have multiple tablets, collagen powder, this tablet, that tablet. We are just addicting our body to certain things. There's a lot of something called placebo effect we call. There's a known factor. Just the thought that you're taking a particular medicine will act on you. Those are called placebo. It's been standard scientific research have been done. Human brain is very strong. The moment you feel you're taking a tablet, you start show, manifesting. Right? So I, as a doctor and as a human being, am totally against putting ourselves addicted to anything in life. Right? So you say glutathione tablet. A lot of people are on multiple vitamin pills. More than their food, they would like to eat 10 tablets in the morning, afternoon, evening. So all this we're messing up our body. They definitely will have long-term side effects. Right? It's not like we are looking at our life very short span. Right. They just bother about this 25 to 30 years, when you're living your prime age.
Right.
But we are not focusing on achieving long-term results by lifestyle changes. Why can't you eat an antioxidant in the form of fruits? Why can't you go for sprouts?
But it take a long time. So people
but
want
that will-
instant results, but they're not bothered about the
long-term things.
long term.
So fruits. There's so many fruits. And I don't say always go for seasonal foods. We don't want exotic foods.
Right.
I'm not saying, eat something exotic. Simple thing. Mosambi or whatever fruits are available. Guava, your chiku, your apple. All this have all the antioxidants you're talking about. Right? So you don't have to worry about the tablets at all.
Right.
But we are not ready to. So this needs an entire one podcast. IV therapy, glutathione, tablets, the trends. So I think we will have to discuss that in detail one day.
So we'll
come up with another
We'll come up
episode.
with another podcast to discuss deeply about glutathione, IV drips, and also the trends that are happening in our country right
Definitely, we have to.
now. Doctor, is there any ideal age to start these treatments?
So ideal age, say in case I would say Botox and fillers. Botox is a preventive thing. That's a mistake we do. We want to start Botox after all your wrinkles have developed. So that is a bad time. Wrinkles, we say it is something called static and dynamic. That means dynamic means when you're younger, the wrinkles come only when you're using certain muscles. So that is the ideal time to start. But when you're coming like around 50 years, when your wrinkles are already become static, that means whether you move your muscle or not, there's a wrinkle. Then Botox is not very useful. So people can start even as in this 2025. Depending on the person's muscle strength.
Okay.
Some people get wrinkles very early. Because the muscle, they are very emotic. In the sense, they use a lot of their facial muscles to express it. Some people don't get any wrinkles, how much ever they use a muscle. So it depends whether it's there or not. Fillers, again, I would say ideal age would be much later, 25, 30, when you see some sign. Any treatment, if you're doing, there should be a need for it. It should not be just a trend. Right? It's not like, my friend got it done. I had a lot of patients coming and asking me, doctor, do this filler, that filler. They actually didn't need it.
Mhm. But for beautification, people do it. No, there's no need, but for to look more beautiful, for the forehead
Correct, but
to not.
they may not be a candidate for that.
Mm.
They
But
actually
still, they want to get it done because it's a
it's
trend.
a trend.
So do you think it's okay?
No, because see already certain areas like cheek, if I say I had, because I'm telling this 2 days back only I had a patient who already has a good cheek, but still she's getting filler done. In the hope that she'll get rid of the line, but filling here will not get rid of the line. It is going to worsen it. She ideally needed only lift, so she needs in a different area. So that analysis is very important.
Okay.
Where and when.
Right.
So I would not say a particular age.
Doctor, I have another question. Again, talking about Botox, I have a friend who sweats profusely in the gym when we work out, and she also has a very bad body odor.
Right.
Whatsoever underarm
Correct.
roll-ons, your deodorants, perfume, nothing helped. But she sweats a lot and smells a lot. So, as you told me that Botox will help
Right,
medically to
right,
reduce
right.
sweating. So, where exactly this Botox will be injected?
Correct. So Botox again temporary, 6 months to 8 months in the axilla underarms is where they sweat a lot because the glands are different. Epicrine glands we say the oil secreting, the sweat secreting glands are different there. So in that area we inject the Botox. Again it paralyzes that area and there's absolutely no sweating. So I will say 80 to 90% sweating disappears. So when there's no sweat, there's no bacteria. The smell is not only due to sweat. When there is a sweat, there is like food fodder for the bacteria grow, and that is what releases the smell.
Okay.
So that is a good fix for that.
Okay.
But it lasts only for 6 to 8 months. So it is injected in the underarms.
So now that you told me it reduces the sweat completely,
Yes.
I have seen these Bollywood and Hollywood,
Correct.
whatever the
Actors,
actors
right.
during these award ceremonies when they dance, they perform,
There's no
they
sweat.
not sweat.
Yeah. So
How?
this
It's
is
Botox?
exactly. But also, and there's other few techniques also with which we can mirati karke there's a machine that also reduces sweating, and that is more like a permanent thing. I personally don't have experience because it's an expensive machine, so I have not purchased that. But some of my colleagues who are using, they say it really gives good results.
So you think all the celebrities have got off?
100%. Others sweat. When
Yeah,
you dance,
when you
when you
dance.
walk out, you will sweat. So this is a good fix.
So, doctor, we have discussed about Botox and fillers, and it is heavy on the pocket, as you said.
Definitely.
So, what are the other treatments that one can get which is not heavy on the pocket and also gives a result?
Definitely. What happens is, as you said, Botox and fillers are definite, and it is like a commitment. You need to repeat them if you want to maintain it. But other than that, which one of my favorite, I would say, is microneedling with PRP. That's a beautiful treatment, not at all expensive. Basically, in microneedling, we are using multiple needles and inserting in your skin. The collagen alteration happens. We are inducing collagen. So we are repairing skin from within. Plus, we are using something called platelet-rich plasma. That also is rejuvenating your skin. This typically is done once a month, maybe for 3 to 6 sittings. But all my patients love the results. And again, it's not very heavy. We're not using any Botox, filler, no artificial material used. Your own blood is used. It's much safer. Complication rate, I would say, is almost nil. And your skin is repairing from within. That's what I like about it. It's
So nothing foreign is getting inside your skin.
And you're repairing from within. Other than PRP microing, people can go for CO2 laser resurfacing. That's another very beautiful, very much cheaper than other treatments. It is resurfacing the skin. You can go for fat grafting, wherein you're taking your own fat and using like fillers. Again, this is a natural, much cheaper than fillers.
Okay, and does it stay longer than the fillers?
Yes.
Because it's your own
Yes,
fat.
your own fat. So we can do fat grafting. Then another treatment would be something called thread lift. Minimally invasive, but that's again little expensive. These are few of the treatments that we can do other than Botox and fillers.
So again, who is ideal? Like at what age can you start doing PRP and
PRP microneedling is done for different purpose. Like we can do one is for anti-aging. So you start around 25, 30, whenever you feel the skin is started looking dull, we can. Other than that, people who have a lot of pores, open pores, people who have scars, acne scars, These are the candles who are very good for PRP and microneedling. So my young patient is even 18-year-old. I'm doing microneedling. She has a lot of acne scars. So age is not the criteria there. Depends on for what purpose you're getting it done.
Okay. So, doctor, can you explain what actually is this plasma-rich
Platelet-rich plasma. Yes.
platelet-rich plasma?
So platelet-rich plasma, we are taking your whole blood. So whole blood means it has RBC, WBC, and platelets. Out of this, I'm not interested in WBC and RBC. I'm interested in the platelets. So these platelets, I'm concentrating. So I'm using a machine called centrifuge. So we spin so that we separate the WBC and RBC, and what remains is called platelet-rich plasma. So this is concentrated up to 3 to 5 times more concentrated. And these have lot of growth factors. The platelets are known for growth factors. So these, when we inject in the skin is getting repaired. Right? So this is called PRP, platelet-rich plasma.
So it when you inject it in the skin,
Right.
the collagen is regenerated.
Yes.
So more collagen production, more glow.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And the pores will start becoming shrinking.
Okay.
The wrinkles will become much finer.
So as far as I understood, if you can't afford Botox or fillers, there's so many other options to
I
choose.
wouldn't say like that, Shweta. More than afford, it is for different purposes. Like wrinkles, I cannot take care with PRP.
Right, right.
I can't give volume with filler. I mean, I can give volume with filler, I cannot give volume with PRP.
Okay.
So PRP microneedling is very good for your skin texture. When we're talking about skin, we're not only talking about your sagging, we're not talking about only volume, we're not talking about wrinkles. There's something called skin texture, right?
You're right.
The skin looks dull. The skin looks too much of pores. For those kind of things, microneedling PRP is a beautiful treatment.
Okay. And does this even work for the hair, doctor?
100%. So we say PRP for hair treatment. So PRP is something which we are using for every part of our cosmetically. I'm using for hair, for my face. Orthopedic surgeons are using for their joint repair. So they inject PRP into the shoulder joint, knee joint, into the spine. So PRP is used for different purpose because it has a regenerative. It's like a stem cell. It can repair any damaged tissue.
Right.
So different purposes, different doctors are using.
So in today's episode, we have learned a lot about fillers, Botox, IV therapies, microneedling and PRPs, and each one of them helps in different ways. So I think this podcast was really, again, very intense and very informative for all of you all. So if you are thinking about choosing Botox, fillers, or any kind of treatments, then this podcast is for you. For stay tuned for the next episode of Nothing But Truth with Dr. Pinky Devi Arpan. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you so much.